How's it going, everybody? Ian back with a very quick update. I can never get whatever. You're just not gonna be able to see my eyes. Uh, Basically, what this is a very quick little update video. Finished 3 books. Awesome within this week. So my reading goal of 91 books. I am about 10 short. So hopefully I'll get that done before the end of the year. Let's get into it then. 2 books on my Kindle. I have The Loon, which you can't really see because of the glare. The Loon by Michael Brett Collins. Basically, this is a horror novel. The blizzard of the century, the most violent criminals alive, and a creature that waits to feed. Welcome to the Loon. That's the catchphrase. So it's a prison. It's a blizzard, so they have skeleton crew going on at the prison, and all hell breaks loose. It turns out that, not a spoiler because it says right on there's a creature somewhere in there. The head prison guy, the guy who owns the prison or runs it, is a mad scientist who was creating an abomination in the bowels of the prison. And basically, the blizzard knocks out power, so that knocks out the gate that's holding this creature, and it just wreaks havoc on the prisoners and the prison guards. And also, there's a prisoner in there who is 100 times worse than Ted Bundy, Ed Gein, all put together. And he is also running loose. So you have 2 monsters, if you will. One human monster and then one monster running around the prison, hacking away at the prison guards. So there's that one. Then I finished this one last night. This is 2389. So 2389. That's the year 2389. This is very interesting. This is by Ian Robb Wright. Ian Robb Wright is a very good British independent, I suppose, horror author. Right up top, J.A. Conrath, which I love his books. He is giving some praise to Mr. Wright. So basically what this is it's the year 2389. The moon has become an amusement park. Fun. Right off the bat. That's awesome. All of a sudden, the moon stops communicating with Earth. All communications are severed. All the people up there who went up there to the amusement park, they're not calling their home. They're not calling families. The moon is non-existent anymore. So what the hell happened? So they decide to send a group of people up Doom style up to the moon to find out what the hell happened. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Awesome. Awesome premise. It was pretty short. It's only 100 and something pages, but I gave it 3 stars. Not a whole lot of character development. That's what I kind of want in a book. But yeah, it's just a fun read, especially in this time of year. So it says getting there was the easy part. All right, and then enjoy that so much. Ian Robb Wright again. The Gates. This is a series. Basically, all these portals open up in the all around the world. So this is you have. I think there's 7 characters in this. Different viewpoints, I should say. All around the world, these portals open up, and inside the portals, it's basically hell. And all these demons come out. So basically, it's Doom again. Ian Robb Wright must really love the series Doom. But this is like a 7-book series or something like that. It's a series. So I'm going to start this. And then I've got this coming. I don't have the physical book right now. It's at the library. I got to go pick it up probably Thursday before work. This is Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson's Hellhole Inferno, the third and final novel in the Hellhole trilogy. So I'm very curious to see how all this stuff ends. I always like it when I get to finish a trilogy because that means all the knots are all untied and everything's tied up nicely in a bow. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, and then I can start a new trilogy. Right, on to the physical books. Put that down. I finished B.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic. And this was a 4-star read, really, really good. I believe it's becoming a movie. I believe Gerard Butler is actually producing it, or he has a hand in making it. Uh, uh, I can't really explain too much about this because it's more because I had no idea what it was when I went into it, and that I feel is more enjoyable for this type of book. Usually, I like to know a little bit what's going on, but everyone loved this book, so I decided to pick it up. I traded a bunch of books in to we have a place called Bookman's down here in Arizona, kind of like a half price books, but I think they give you a little bit more bang for your buck. Traded a bunch of books in. I had $15. Granted, yeah, I traded a few books in, got it $15, but I was never going to read those books again anyway. So $15. This was $16, so I only spent $1 on it, brand new. I will say though, I don't know if I'm going to continue with this series. I read the synopsis of the next book just to see. This one wraps it up perfectly, I think, in my mind. I don't think I'm going to continue with this unless somewhere down the line. But right now, I like it right now as it is. And from the synopsis, it didn't seem that I don't know. I guess if that's one flaw, it didn't push me. Oh, I want to go read more in this world. I guess, but it's still a 4-star read. I did that with the same thing with Scythe by Neil Gaiman. Uh, awesome 5-star. Scythe is a great book by Neil Gaiman, and it's the start of a trilogy. But I never continued on a second or third because I just thought I didn't want to spoil the feelings I had for Scythe because Scythe was so good. And I know, yeah, I just didn't think this. I thought the series was done. And same thing with this. Is the series I think is for to me it's done. If that makes any sense, I guess I'm just talking out of my ass. I guess maybe, but maybe down the line. I do need to check out her other series. I believe it's called Villainous or something like that. On to the next book I read. Okay, I've been listening to this podcast, the Cosmere podcast, I believe it's called, and there's four people, three guys and a girl. They talk about, or three of them have all read it except for one dude. One guy has not read any of the Cosmere books. So what they're doing is they started with the Skyward, or I didn't read those two, Elantris, I believe. I read the Mistborn series, or I read the first Mistborn, Era 1. They made him, or not made him, but every week he'd read 2 to 3 chapters, and then they'd come back on that Sunday, do like a where do you think the series is going? How do you like? He'd basically recap it week by week, every 2 to 3 chapters. I enjoyed it. They got done with Mistborn Era 1. They went on to Way of Kings, the first book, so I listened to that. I have read Way of Kings. I've read the first 2 books, and I did not. I read half of Oathbringer, and I just didn't for some reason. I'll pick it up maybe when the series is more. I don't like waiting for series, and that's a dumb thing I know, but I don't like waiting for series, and I don't do a lot of rereads. So when the third book comes out of something, I don't reread it, so I kind of forget. So now I'm just rambling. Anyway, so they did the first book of Way of Kings, and now they are on to Mistborn Era 2. I have not read Mistborn Era 2, and I thought this is going to be perfect. Every week I'll read along with them, and then on Sunday or whenever they upload the podcast, I'll go listen to the podcast, and it's more of a buddy read. I can follow along easier. So I am reading The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson, the Wax and Wane, and I'm about 100. We're about, I should say we, because technically I am reading along. 100 something pages in. Really like this. I like this a lot more so far than the first Mistborn series. Excuse me. Has a Western vibe, which I really, really like. I really, really like that. That's pretty dang cool. And then they were also talking that supposedly Mistborn is going to something. Supposedly this was not supposed to be. This series he was bored and wrote this series, and he wasn't even. This wasn't supposed to be Mistborn, the second trilogy. Apparently, there's 2 more trilogies coming out with Mistborn. I guess one of them is going to take place in space. Awesome. So yeah, Alloy of Law. I'm going to read that series. All right, this is turning into a longer video. One more book though. Picked up this series, or I'm going to start this series. This is Mark Graney, the Gray Man series. Basically, this is the Gray Man, Cortland Gentry. is basically an assassin called the Gray Man, and hope I'm getting some Orphan X vibes. And I really like that series up until the fourth book. The fifth book, kind of like, okay, whatever. But I think there's 10 of these, I believe. Right now, he's still going. It's kind of like a Lee Child series, stuff like that. Anyway, that's what I got. This is a longer video. I apologize. Let me know what y'all think, and let me know what y'all are reading. Have a good one.